Welcome back to part 2 of the Backspace Academy lab on setting up a Node.js development environment on Amazon EC2. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is to install Git version control. So just go to the Git download page there and download the 32-bit or 64-bit setup, whichever is suitable for your Windows operating system. And then run the setup. So we go here, the setup wizard. Next is fine for that. Next is fine. We'll leave those options the same. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is to use Git from the Windows command prompt. Open SSH, that is fine. Okay, so the next thing we got here is we've got 3 options. We want to check out as is and commit Unix style line endings. If we don't do that, then we're going to have some warnings, annoying sort of warnings that will pop up in Atom.io. So this second option is the one that you would want to put on. So min tty is fine as our terminal emulator. Leave that unchecked, and we go ahead and install. After we've installed Git, we now need to install the Atom.io editor. So just go to the Atom.io page there and download the Windows installer and install that. I won't go through that process, it's pretty straightforward. So when you've got the Atom.io or Atom editor up, we need to add SFTP capability to that, and there is a package there that makes life easy for us. So we just go to File Settings and we'll search for that package, and so then we click on Install, search for that package. So the package is Remote Edit, and we just search for that. Okay, so I've already installed that here, so you just need to install it, that's fine. Once it's been installed, then we can go into Packages, then go into Remote Edit, and then we can add our SFTP host. Okay, so the first setting we've got there is host name, so that will be the public IP address of our Node.js instance or EC2 instance that we've installed there. So that will be there, our public IP address there. So that's the one I've got there. Yours will obviously be different to that. Make sure there's no HTTP in there, you know, HTTP:// in there. Just the number and nothing else. The default directory, we've got a default directory there on our EC2 instance, node-js-sample. The username will be EC2-user, and that's the username that we use for Amazon Linux instances. Port 22, then we need to click on private key pair, and then put the path to our private key path. So that's the PPK file that we created using the PuTTY key generator. So don't use the PEM file, use the PPK file, and then we save that. Now we need to install Git integration with Atom. So the package we're going to use for that is git-plus. So we will just search for that package. And as you can see there, I've already installed it, but that's fine. So what we do whenever we're making changes to our code, we just need to make sure that we go into git-plus and add all commit to save the latest version of that code. Okay, so that's all that we have to do for Atom to have that set up. There are some other packages there that are quite useful that we've got in the lab notes. So the lab notes are quite good for all this stuff. So I can see here we've got very detailed instructions that go through exactly how everything works, and we can run through those, and you shouldn't have any problems whatsoever. So just going to check that the actual SFTP is working. So I'm going to create, I'm actually going to connect up into that. So I go into Packages, Remote Edit, and Browse Hosts. And there we can see that there is our host that we created, our EC2 user node-js sample host. And we connect to that. And there we have successfully connected, and it'll list all the files that we've got on that server in that directory. So we can just click up index.js. Okay, and so there's our sample application that we've got on there. I've got linter on here, so it's quite good. It's telling me I've got a few missing semicolons, so I'd probably advise you to put linter on there as well. It's quite good. That's in the notes as well. So let's change that to well, we've changed it there for Hello World Backspace Academy. That's fine. So let's just change it to I don't know, Hello World from Joe Blogs maybe. And when we do Control S to save that, it will connect to our EC2 instance. Okay, so it's successfully connected. It's written the remote file there, and that's fine, not a problem. So now we can go through and test out whether those changes worked. So we now just open up PuTTY and connect in. So we're connected up there, fine. Okay, so we just CD into that directory node.js-sample, and then we can run our application. So node index.js, and there we can see our application is up running. So if we go to that IP address, point our browser to it, so there we can see we've got Hello World from a Joe blog. So that's all working. We've connected up, we've run our Node.js example code there, and everything is working fine. I'll see you in the next lesson.